Words are not mere sounds. They are creative forces. What you speak, you set into motion. To speak smart is to understand that every phrase you release either builds your world or breaks it. The one who speaks carelessly scatters their power. The one who speaks with wisdom becomes magnetic, irresistible, and heard. Every conversation is a seed. Plant only those that bear good fruit. Tone is the secret key. Speak not with doubt or hesitation, but with conviction that commands response. The world reflects back the vibration you send forth. A wavering voice brings confusion. A steady voice moves mountains. Silence is often the highest speech. Do not waste words. Let them carry weight. A single sentence of truth can open doors that endless chatter cannot. Speak as if it is already done. Declare, never beg. Words are laws in motion. What you decree will stand. When you speak with clarity, faith, and purpose, you master the psychology of powerful communication, and everything begins to obey your voice. Words are power. Every word you speak is charged with energy, every sentence a command, every phrase a decree that shapes the unseen forces around you. People imagine words are small, but they are the greatest instruments of creation. You live today in a reality built by what you spoke yesterday. You walk now on the path paved by your tongue. If your speech has been careless, your life will show confusion. If your speech has been deliberate, your life will show order. Words do not pass away. They gather, they multiply, they return. To speak smart is to realize that language is not for noise but for creation. The one who masters words masters circumstances. When you speak with precision, you release power. When you speak with clarity, you open doors. When you speak with faith, you command obedience from both people and events. You can transform an atmosphere with one sentence. A room filled with doubt can shift to confidence when a single voice rises in certainty. People waste their speech on complaint, chatter, and fear. Each complaint strengthens the chains they wish to break. Each fearful word builds the very walls they desire to tear down. The smart speaker never scatters words. They choose them as a jeweler selects rare stones. Careful, valuable, intentional. Your words should be few but shining, each one carrying weight. When you open your mouth, you declare to the world what you believe. Even before people hear your logic, they feel your energy. A hesitant tone betrays weakness. A rushed sentence betrays anxiety. But a calm, steady voice commands trust. Words are carriers of vibration. They reach beyond the ear and touch the hidden mind. Speak in fear, and you plant fear. Speak in faith, and you awaken faith. Smart speaking is not speaking much. It is speaking right. One sentence, aligned with truth, carries more force than 1,000 spoken in confusion. You do not convince by multiplying words. You convince by directing them like arrows straight to the heart. Every speech, every conversation, every exchange must be seen as planting. What will you plant? Doubt or conviction, defeat or victory, delay or fulfillment? There is a time for speech and a time for silence. The one who speaks every thought has no power, for their words are too common to be valued. The one who holds silence until the right moment strikes with lightning. Silence gives weight to words, as the pause in music makes the note more powerful. Do not fear silence. Rest in it. Let it build the force behind your voice. Then when you speak, the world listens. To speak smart is to speak as one who commands, not as one who begs. The voice of begging carries no authority. It is the voice of lack, of weakness, of surrender. But when you declare, when you speak as though the matter is settled, your words create agreement in the unseen. To speak smart is to speak from the end result, not from the middle of the struggle. You do not say, I hope. You say, it is done. The psychology of powerful communication is simple. People respond not to what you say, but to what you embody. If you embody uncertainty, no matter how clever your words, they will fall flat. If you embody certainty, even the simplest words will burn into memory. When you say yes, let it be a clear yes. When you say no, let it be an unshakable no. Do not dilute your words with apology. Speak them as though they were law. Never repeat weakness. Do not speak of what you fear, for in repeating it, you strengthen it. Do not say I cannot, for your mind will believe you. Do not declare it is hard, for your path will grow harder. Every time you affirm struggle, you command the struggle to continue. Speak instead of victory. Speak of ease. Speak of the open door, the answered prayer, the finished work. Words plant images in the subconscious. Speak as though the picture is already drawn and life must simply reveal it. Powerful communication is not about impressing with vocabulary or style. It is about aligning word, tone, and faith. A simple word spoken with authority can overturn resistance. A phrase declared with unwavering belief can shift an entire destiny. The one who speaks smart does not waste words. They understand that each spoken phrase sets energy into motion, and so they guard their tongue as treasure. Ask yourself before you speak, will these words build or destroy? Will they advance me or delay me? Will they release freedom or bind me tighter? If your answer is destruction, delay, or bondage, remain silent. But if your words carry life, declare them boldly, for they will surely return multiplied. You do not need to shout to be powerful. True authority rarely shouts. It speaks with calm certainty, and that certainty commands more than noise ever could. Do not confuse volume with strength. The whisper of conviction carries farther than the scream of fear. Speak not from the need to be heard, but from the certainty that what you say will manifest. Communication is not only outward. The most powerful speech you will ever master is the one you speak within yourself. Guard your self-talk as strictly as your outer talk. If you speak defeat inwardly, you will carry defeat outwardly. If you declare strength inwardly, your outward speech will radiate confidence. The one who commands their inner voice will command their outer world. Words are bridges. They connect thought to reality, unseen to seen, faith to manifestation. To speak smart is to build bridges toward what you desire, never toward what you fear. The world listens to your every decree. The mind listens. The body listens. Life itself listens. Speak as a commander, not a wanderer. Speak with certainty, not confusion. Speak as though every word you utter is law, and you will see it become so. The law of vibration rules everything. Nothing rests, all is in motion. Every thought, every word, every tone carries a frequency that moves into the unseen and returns multiplied. The moment you open your mouth, you set a vibration in motion that touches minds, shapes events, and draws circumstances to you. You are not only heard, you are felt. People respond not to the surface of your words, but to the vibration behind them. When you speak in fear, your words tremble, and that trembling spreads like ripples through the atmosphere. It weakens your influence. It scatters your power. It draws back to you exactly what you feared. But when you speak in faith, your tone steadies, your words align with truth, and that vibration carries authority. Faith is magnetic, and the one who speaks from faith attracts confidence, cooperation, and success. The law of vibration does not fail. What you release will return. A harsh word spoken in anger returns as discord. A gentle word spoken in calm assurance returns as peace. A firm word spoken in certainty opens doors. A careless word spoken in doubt closes them. Every tone is a command sent into the invisible. You may think you are speaking only to another person, but in truth you are speaking to life itself. The difference between a powerless speaker and a powerful one is not vocabulary but vibration. One may use fine phrases but carry the trembling of insecurity, and so their words fall like dry leaves. Another may use the simplest language, but their tone carries conviction, and so their words strike like arrows of light. People rarely remember every sentence, but they never forget how your vibration made them feel. To speak smart is to tune your vibration before you speak your words. A voice filled with resentment will poison even good advice. A voice filled with love will soften even hard truths. You cannot hide vibration. You cannot cover it with charm or polish. The vibration speaks louder than the words themselves. Before you speak, align your inner state. Declare inwardly that you are calm, steady, and certain, and your voice will carry that truth outward. Every time you enter a room, you bring a vibration with you. Long before you say a word, others feel it. They sense whether you carry authority or confusion, whether you radiate peace or agitation. The air bends to your frequency. If you come trembling, the atmosphere shakes with you. If you come steady, the atmosphere steadies. This is why the wise do not rush to speak but first center themselves, knowing that vibration is the true message. Even silence vibrates. A silence filled with tension is loud. A silence filled with strength is louder still. The pause between words can either weaken or magnify what follows. When you hold silence with composure, the vibration of your presence grows, and your next words land with power. The pause is not empty. It hums with vibration. Learn to use it, and your speech becomes music instead of noise. The law of vibration also governs repetition. Every repeated phrase impresses itself deeper into your being and then radiates outward stronger. This is why affirmations spoken with feeling are powerful. Each time you declare them, you charge them with vibration until they are irresistible. The body begins to vibrate with health when words of health are spoken. The path begins to vibrate with success when words of success are spoken. The mind begins to vibrate with peace when words of peace are spoken. The smart speaker never repeats low vibrations. To say again and again, "I am tired," is to impress tiredness upon the body. To say constantly, "I cannot," is to anchor inability into the mind. Every repetition strengthens the vibration. Instead, repeat strength, repeat victory, repeat abundance, repeat certainty. Speak them until your tone carries them naturally, until your vibration cannot be denied. Your communication is not only outward but inward. The vibration of your self-talk directs your outer speech. If you scold yourself with weakness inside, your words to others will carry weakness outside. If you encourage yourself with faith inside, your words to others will radiate authority outside. Guard your inner vibration as carefully as your spoken words, for one is the root and the other the fruit. To speak smart is to master the atmosphere you create. A voice in harmony with faith calms the anxious, lifts the weary, and inspires the doubtful. People are not drawn to mere information. They are drawn to vibration. They may not know why they listen, but they cannot turn away from a voice aligned with truth. When your vibration is right, your words need not be many. They strike deep, they linger, they echo long after you have gone. The law of vibration is the secret psychology of powerful communication. Speak from harmony, and you spread harmony. Speak from faith, and you awaken faith. Speak from certainty, and you create certainty. Every word is energy set in motion, every tone a current that travels farther than you imagine. Nothing rests, all is vibration. And when you learn to master the vibration behind your words, you master the world that answers back to you. Silence is not weakness, silence is strength. The loudest person in the room is rarely the most powerful. The one who can hold silence without fear, without hurry, without the need to prove, is the one who holds authority. Silence is not emptiness, it is charged with energy. It is the unseen foundation beneath every word of power. Without silence, words are scattered. With silence, words are sharpened like blades. Most people fear silence. They rush to fill the space with chatter, explanations, excuses, and noise. They do not realize that every unnecessary word weakens them. The wise understand that silence is a weapon, silence is a shield, silence is a signal of command. The one who can hold silence bends the atmosphere to their favor. The one who breaks silence too quickly loses influence. Silence builds expectation. When you pause, when you refuse to rush, the weight of the moment grows. People lean in. They wait. They listen. And when you finally release words, they fall with double force. The pause between words is like the breath between notes in music. It makes the melody powerful. Without silence, speech is flat. With silence, speech becomes rhythm, depth, and authority. Silence is not passive. It speaks without words. It communicates calm when others panic, strength when others tremble, confidence when others doubt. Silence shows mastery. It reveals that you are not controlled by urgency, not enslaved by reaction, not pulled into the noise of the crowd. Silence says, "I do not need to prove, I know." And that unspoken message carries farther than shouting ever could. To master silence is to master timing. The wrong word spoken in haste can never be taken back. But the word held in silence waits until it is perfect. And when it is released, it lands exactly where it must. Silence gives you space to discern. It allows truth to rise while error fades away. The one who speaks without silence may impress for a moment, but the one who pauses to listen, to weigh, to hold, becomes unforgettable. In silence, power gathers. Just as still waters hold depth, silence holds unseen strength. The one who can remain silent while others rush to speak holds control over the room. The crowd may scatter their energy in words, but the silent one gathers it, and when they finally speak, all ears are theirs. Silence is gravity. It pulls attention, it draws focus, it commands respect. Silence guards secrets. Words once spoken cannot be returned, but silence keeps your treasures safe until the time is right. Many lose power by speaking too soon, revealing too much, scattering what should be concealed. The strong do not reveal all. They hold their plans in silence until action reveals them. To be silent is to protect what is growing, to shield it from premature exposure, to let it mature until it cannot be denied. Silence disarms. When anger rises, silence cools it. When provocation tempts, silence refuses it. When gossip seeks agreement, silence starves it. Words feed fire, but silence extinguishes it. The one who can hold silence in conflict wins without battle. Silence is not surrender, it is strategy. It is the refusal to waste energy on what does not deserve it. Silence trains discipline. It teaches you to master your tongue, to master your reactions, to master your inner state. Most people are slaves to impulse. They speak because they feel they must. They answer because they cannot resist. They chatter because they fear stillness. But the one who chooses silence is free. They are not pushed by pressure, not pulled by fear, not bound by the need to fill space. Silence is freedom. Silence reveals truth. When you stop speaking, you begin to hear. You hear the words behind words, the intentions behind tone, the hidden meaning beneath surface noise. You see clearly what others miss. While others drown in sound, the silent one perceives the deeper vibration. In silence, wisdom rises. In silence, clarity comes. In silence, the path is seen. Even in prayer, silence has power. Words may begin it, but silence completes it. In silence, you align with the unseen. You allow the answer to rise. You give space for guidance to speak. Too many pray with endless words, yet never enter silence, and so they never hear the reply. True communication with the divine is not only speaking but listening, and silence is the doorway to that listening. The psychology of powerful communication is incomplete without silence. It is not only the words you speak, but the words you withhold that reveal mastery. It is not only the sentences you declare, but the pauses you command that give force. The crowd speaks to be noticed. The wise remain silent until the moment demands, and then they cannot be ignored. To embrace silence is to embrace strength. To use silence is to wield power. To live in silence at the right moments is to communicate more than words ever could. And the one who knows when to speak and when to stay silent becomes a master of communication, a magnet of influence, a voice that moves not because it is loud, but because it carries the authority of silence behind it. To beg is weakness, but to command is power. Life does not answer to the voice of pleading, it answers to the voice of authority. The universe does not move for those who whimper, it moves for those who declare. Every time you beg, you confess lack. Every time you command, you announce possession. The vibration of begging repels what you desire, but the vibration of commanding draws it near. When you beg, your words carry the tone of uncertainty. You confess with your voice that you doubt your right to what you ask for. You place yourself beneath circumstances instead of above them. But when you command, you speak as one who knows, one who claims, one who stands already in possession. Your words strike with force, for they are not requests, they are decrees. Command does not mean arrogance, it means alignment. To command is to speak from truth, not from fear. It is to know that what you desire is already yours in the unseen, and so you simply declare it into form. The soldier does not beg the army to march, he gives the order, and the order is obeyed. In the same way, your words should go forth as orders to life, carrying the certainty of fulfillment. Begging places power outside of you. It says, I am small, I am weak, I am at the mercy of chance. But commanding places power within you. It says, I am aligned, I am certain, I am the one who speaks the law. The psychology of communication is written in your tone. A single word spoken as command has more effect than 1,000 words spoken in begging. Most people weaken their speech without knowing it. They fill it with apologies, with hesitation, with I hope, I wish, if only. These words carry no authority. They are signals of begging. They announce to the world, I do not believe. The smart speaker removes these from their vocabulary. Instead of I hope it works, they say, it is working. Instead of I wish I could, they say, I will. Instead of if only, they say, I know. This shift from begging to commanding changes everything, for vibration obeys certainty, not doubt. To command does not mean to raise your voice. True command is calm, it is steady, it is quiet but unshakable. A whisper of certainty commands more than a scream of desperation. People follow not the one who shouts the loudest, but the one who speaks with authority. Life itself responds in the same way. You do not need to shout at the universe, you need only declare with faith. The energy of command is felt instantly. When someone speaks as though the matter is already settled, resistance fades. Doors open, people listen, circumstances shift. This is the vibration of law. When you say it, it stands. No pleading, no repetition, no desperate chasing. Just one declaration spoken with faith, and the unseen begins to align. Begging leaves you waiting. Command moves you forward. Begging says, please, someday, maybe. Command says, now. Begging leaves you outside the gate. Command opens the gate and walks you through. Begging sees obstacles as masters. Command sees obstacles as servants. Begging waits for permission. Command gives permission. This is the difference between the powerless and the powerful in communication. Command is born from inner certainty. You cannot speak it outwardly unless you have first spoken it inwardly. If you beg within yourself, your outer words will tremble. But if you command within yourself, your outer words will resonate with power. Speak to your own mind as a commander. Tell it what it will do, not what you wish it might do. Tell it where it will go, not where it fears it cannot. The inner command becomes the outer vibration. When you approach others, approach as one who carries authority. Speak with clarity. Declare your point. Do not clutter it with apology or hesitation. Do not ask permission for your truth. Deliver it as fact, and watch how people adjust to your vibration. Most people are waiting to be told what is certain. When you speak with certainty, they follow, for certainty is rare and magnetic. Command carries responsibility. It is not to be used carelessly. The one who commands must speak only truth, only alignment, only that which builds. To command what is false is to set destruction in motion, and it will return upon the speaker. But to command what is right, what is just, what is in harmony, is to move with the highest law, and that law never fails. Every area of life bends to command. Money answers to command. Health answers to command. Success answers to command. People feel it when you carry the vibration of command, and they respond, not always because of the logic of your words, but because of the certainty behind them. You become a voice that is not doubted, a presence that is not resisted, a speaker who does not ask but declares. Command is not noise, it is not desperation, it is not endless words, it is simple, direct, clear, and certain. The command may be only one sentence, but that sentence echoes until it manifests. You do not need to speak many times. You need only to speak once with authority, and when you do, the law of vibration carries it forward until it becomes form. To beg is to remain small. To command is to stand tall. To beg is to scatter your power. To command is to gather it. To beg is to doubt. To command is to know, and the one who speaks as one who knows will always be obeyed by life itself. Words are the builders of destiny. Vibration is the force that carries them. Silence is the strength that empowers them, and command is the voice that seals them into law. When you speak with intention, when you carry the right vibration, when you choose silence over waste, and when you declare instead of beg, you become unshakable. Every word you release moves into the unseen. Every pause gathers power, every tone carries influence, every command shapes reality. Life does not answer to the hesitant or the fearful, it answers to the certain, the aligned, the one who knows. Speak as a creator, not as a beggar. Carry the stillness of silence, the force of vibration, and the clarity of command in every word. Then your speech becomes law, your presence becomes power, and the world cannot help but respond.